Hello, I'm Colleen Gallagher, CEO at OnWrd UpWrd, and you're listening to the Association Insights podcast, where each week we interview association leaders from across the country to hear how they're trying new things, taking big risks, and delivering value for their members. We'll explore the realities of what it means to work in and with associations and bring you the insights and inspiration you need to advance your career and make big changes at your association. Let's get started.
Welcome back to the Association Insights podcast. I'm your host, Colleen Gallagher, and today is going to be another solo cast focused on a topic that I get asked about all the time: how associations can build a smart, strategic, and actually doable PR plan. If you've ever wondered where to start, how to get the most out of your efforts, or how to make PR feel less like a last-minute scramble and more like an engine for real visibility and member value, then this episode is for you. We're calling it your PR Toolkit because I'm going to walk you through the essential tools and tactics every association should have in their communications playbook. So let's get into it. Let's start with the foundation, your editorial calendar. Yeah, I know, it sounds simple, but if you don't have one, or if yours is just a content dumping ground, you're missing out on one of the most powerful tools for staying consistent, strategic, and relevant in your messaging. A great editorial calendar does three things. One, it maps out key dates. So think awareness days, major conferences, industry events, legislative milestones. All of these key dates should be on your editorial calendar. Two, it balances your message. You're not just reacting to news, but you're telling a variety of stories that matter. So think member impact, industry trends, and advocacy wins. And three, it builds in flexibility, so you can pivot when breaking news hits or new opportunities emerge. This calendar should be a living, breathing document your whole team uses. It's not just about content, it's about alignment and visibility. And when PR is tied to what's happening across your organization, it becomes more powerful. Next up, your press list. Here's the foundation for your outreach. Without a targeted, updated list, even the best pitch is gonna go nowhere. So here's how to build one that actually works. Start with your audience. Who do you want to reach? Is it policymakers, potential members, the general public? That's gonna tell you what types of outlets to target. Then you're gonna research relevant reporters, look at their bylines, follow trade outlets, track who's covering what and how. Make sure you collect accurate info. Tools like Cision and Meltwater are great, but honestly, a bit of old-fashioned research and checking their LinkedIn or Twitter or Instagram can be just as effective. You want to double-check emails, beats, and preferences and make sure everything is accurate. Organize by category. So build out tabs or tags for national, trade, local, or broadcast so that you can customize your pitch outreach really quickly. And update regularly. Journalists move around a lot. Refresh that list at least quarterly so it stays clean and effective. Pro tip, quality beats quantity every time. A focused, well-maintained list of 25 reporters who actually care about your issues is far more valuable than 200 who don't. Now let's talk about how you pitch, because it absolutely varies by outlet. You've probably heard me say it before, but a good pitch isn't just about what you want to say, it's about what that reporter's audience needs to hear. So let's break it down. Trade media. These reporters know your industry inside and out. Focus on trends, thought leadership, member data, or how policy shifts are impacting the field. Local media. They care about community. Lead with the regional impact, human stories, or how your members are showing up right in their backyard. National media. You'll need a strong news hook or a cultural moment. Ask yourself, why would a general audience care about this right now? Digital first outlets. Think about visuals. Short videos, photos, or infographics can make your pitch stand out and drive click-throughs. And remember, pitching is personal. So reference something they've written. Make it feel like you know who they are. Be concise and get to the value quickly. Okay, so now that you've sent your pitch out, what's next? Follow-up is where a lot of associations fall short, but it's essential. So here's some rules of thumb. Follow up within 48 to 72 hours. You want to stay top of mind, not be a pest. If you have a much longer lead, you can push that follow-up out by a week or so. But if it's a story that is relevant and timely, you don't want to wait too long. Add value in your follow-up. That is one of the biggest things that people don't do that makes a reporter take notice. Don't just say, "Did you see this?" Instead, offer something new, a quote, a photo, a relevant link. You also want to avoid breaking news days. So if something huge just happened, hit pause. Your pitch can wait. Unless it is directly relevant and additive to the news cycle, no one will see it or care. And remember, be human. Keep it polite, short, and be respectful of their time. If they don't respond after a few attempts, then yeah, move on. But that doesn't mean you can't pitch them again later. Just bring a new story next time. And remember, sometimes an old school phone call is best, while other times a DM at the right moment will land you a story. It's about being flexible and being willing to adapt. For associations, trade reporters are gold. These are journalists who already understand your space and your audience. Building relationships with them is one of the smartest long-term PR moves you can make. And here's how. Follow their work, read, comment, share, get to know their beats. Engage on LinkedIn or Twitter or X, whatever we're calling it now. Most trade journalists are active and appreciate when their stories get visibility. I'm also seeing more reporters engage on Instagram now, so there's yet another channel and source for getting to know them and being able to comment and share. If you are active on TikTok, you can look to see if they're there. Just be where they are. Be a resource. Even if your story isn't ready, offer background or trends. Make their job easier. Offer another source if you can't be the source. They'll remember that you helped them and that you're worth coming to when they need help on a story. And think long term. The goal is never just one hit. It is to become a go-to voice that they can come back to again and again. If you become known as someone who gives helpful, credible information, you will be remembered when the right story comes around. And no PR strategy is complete without media training. Whether it's your board chair, your policy lead, your executive director, whoever is speaking to the press should feel prepared and confident. Here's what good media training covers. Message control, staying on message and avoid going off script. Handling tough questions, knowing how to pivot or reframe without stonewalling. Body language and tone, especially important for video interviews. And storytelling skills. You have to be able to turn facts into compelling narratives. We've seen it time and again when a spokesperson is polished and relatable, it doesn't just boost the story, it boosts the entire perception of the association. Now, this piece here might be your most underutilized tool in your PR toolkit, and that's using your earned media to fuel your owned media. And here's what I mean. When you get a hit, whether it's a quote in a trade article or a local TV interview, don't stop there. Instead, share it on LinkedIn or other platforms, multiple times in different formats, a link, a quote card, a behind-the-scenes photo, endless things that you can do there. Then email it to members. Frame it as, see how we're elevating your voice or our mission in the media. Post it to your newsroom or press page if you have one, helps you build that credibility over time. And include it in board or sponsor reports. Show them the ROI of your visibility efforts. One good placement can live 5 to 10 lives across your channels. And that's how you start turning PR into tangible, trackable value. All right, well, let's recap. Here's what your PR toolkit should include. An editorial calendar that aligns messaging with key dates, a clean targeted press list, pitching tailored by media type, smart follow-up strategies, strong trade media relationships, media trained spokespeople, and a plan to repurpose every win. PR doesn't have to be overwhelming. When you break it down into these tools, it becomes a system. And that system supports your association's goals, members, and mission. And with that, thanks for tuning in to this solo episode of the Association Insights podcast. We'll be back to our regularly scheduled programming with guests next week. We're going to focus on membership value for the month of October, but I hope you enjoyed this and found it helpful. And I'll see you next time with more practical, real-world strategies to help your association move onward and upward.
That's a wrap for today's episode. The Association Insights podcast, previously known as the Association 100 podcast, is a production of OnWrd UpWrd Marketing and Communications, where our mission is to make associations and nonprofits the go-to source in their industries through earned media and thought leadership. This podcast is an extension of our newsletter, a bi-monthly collection of best practices, top trends, helpful ideas, and smart strategies delivered straight to your inbox. Have you undertaken a big change at your association? Or do you have some words of wisdom from the trenches of association life? We want to hear from you, and so do our listeners. Drop us a note at info@OnWrd UpWrd.com. That's info@OnWrd UpWrd.com. Be sure to subscribe, give us a 5-star review, and share with your friends and colleagues. We're available anywhere podcasts are found. Come back next week for more association insights and inspiration. Thanks for tuning in.